they fooled the human race.
To talk. The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the K-Ghost Radio Network and its website are those of the host, guest, and participants, and they are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcast, management, or advertisers of the network. The show is found under LJA Broadcasting Network. UFO Talk Radio can, but does not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not intended to treat or diagnose and or claim to cure any disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. All music is purchased and owned by LJA Broadcasting.
I got the windows rolled down, got the radio up, and I'm heading out of Vegas tonight. And it's a 1:30 on a 4-day run, and the desert is a welcome sight. I can see you there in that dress you wear, and it's keeping my foot on the gas. I drink a gallon of Joe just to make it back home and hold you in my arms at last.
From deep in the desert of Nevada, broadcasting to the world, it's the Glenn Larry Show. Are you ready? What you are about to experience is real. Right along with us. From deep in the desert of Nevada, the Glenn Larry Show.
And I am here, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone out there. I was not on the air. As you can see, I was sick for a while. I had it on all of Facebook pages and everything that, I got to get well. And it took about a week and a half, and it really took it out of me. This flu's been pretty crazy. It wasn't COVID. I was tested for all that, but it was the flu, and a lot of people are getting it, and a lot of people are getting down on it and getting hurt, and they got tired. They just can't get well. It takes a while. It's about a 3-weeker. You got the cough and all this and the congestion and all that. Yeah, it's all part of it. And you just got to rest and do nothing. Take the medication, do what the doctor says, and rest. You get up and do things, your back will hurt, and you just run out of juice. Like your battery's gone kaput. Well, mine did go kaput. I was just very, very tired, and I couldn't do what we had to do. But we're back, and it is a new year. Oh, my gosh. Hope that you guys have made good plans for your years. Your new year coming up here, and your maybe some changes, maybe some promises to yourself. If you don't keep them, I mean, you made your own promises, so it's up to you to keep your own promises, I guess. Just don't tell anybody what you promised yourself about. Yeah, you never know. Anyway, we've been having a lot of fun getting things ready for the show. We're talking about UFOs again tonight, and of course the big buzz about the mall on I think it was July, I believe January 8th. That's when it came out, and it's everywhere. It's aliens, 10-foot aliens that apparently were seen at this mall, Bayside Marketplace in Florida, apparently. And been reported by several different people. I had put something on my Facebook page of a gentleman explaining all that, and it's come to turn out that it was 4 teenagers, apparently with fireworks in the mall and kind of celebrating their own New Year deal, I guess. I don't know, but they got in a lot of trouble, and there's a lot of charges on them right now. I don't know the fate of those folks, those kids, but it was the wrong thing to do. Over, I guess, 60-something police cars showed up. And that's what kind of gets a lot of people. 60 police cars. Well, it sounded like gunfire and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, the whole force was there, and county and state, and so it was a big deal. But the alien thing, I don't know. It's being debunked. Other officers say it never happened. But a lot of cell phones and picture phones and things that were in pictures of phones that were confiscated by the police, apparently, as I understand. And there's more and more coming out. Is this a conspiracy of this whole situation? I'm going to show this. The police turnout on this thing was just crazy. As you can see there, that's all police cars there, and there's the mall down there. This is the big view from either a drone or something. But that's what was that was a turnout that they had because of all this, and they just kept coming apparently. If it is a conspiracy, if it is the 10-foot aliens, I don't know where'd they go to. I mean, someone was saying that was an interdimensional type of thing, and they're in and out, and they phase in and out, and what have you, like a computer game. You think it might be maybe a hologram? Anybody out there? You think that? I don't know. I mean, kind of sounds a little more logical to me that it is or was a hologram or someone's doing something. Maybe it's an experiment of the government to see how people would react if they actually saw a 10-foot alien. Well, in Las Vegas, these kids said that they did see one in their backyard. And you've heard about that. That's been out for months. And of course, we don't know where the people are right now, but they're looking into that also. Now we're going to open the phones right away. We're getting calls coming in on this deal here. So go ahead, caller. What's your name? Where you're from, please?
Hey, Larry, this is Ed. How's it going?
Fantastic, my friend. What do you think about all that stuff about that mall situation? I mean, look at this 10-foot aliens. That's pretty crazy, you think?
Well, this is what I think. This is just my opinion.
Okay.
Nobody else's.
I want to hear it. Go ahead.
I think it's a hoax. I think it's smoke and mirrors. Why would you have, 75, 80 cops show up for aliens when you could barely get 2 cops to show up for the aliens in Vegas?
Yeah, right. Well, it's Florida, of course. I don't know. And it's Miami, a very famous marketplace. So, God, I don't know. That's interesting comment there.
Here's in today's world, what does everybody's cell phone do? Take pictures, take videos, takes everything. I saw one picture, and it was like from across the street or way up off of a camera or something, and all you could see was just a shadow moving, and that's it.
Yeah. Possibly someone had some type of projector and was using that, and along with the folks getting scared because these fireworks sound like gunfire going off, freaked out and they ran, and that was just all part of the gig, a gag, I guess. I don't know, or was it an experiment that was done to see what would happen? But yeah, a lot of stuff out there. I'm going to throw it out to you guys tonight, and Ed, I do appreciate your thought on this. I was wondering maybe the captain might call in tonight. Maybe we'll see what he has to say, and a couple other folks. You just don't know. I have reports out of Iraq about a jellyfish type of UFO, and had these things coming down off it that seem to be pretty solid. Now, there's a gentleman in Good Springs, Nevada, that has told me that he had the same type of thing over his house. Would just appear, and it would stay there for several hours and then disappear. That's true. This gentleman very well, and he said, you can come up and see it. I'll give you a call next time it comes in. I goes, please do that because I want to take pictures. Well, I haven't got the call yet. So, I mean.
On that one?
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
I have too.
Now, I don't know if I've seen it in a movie, because a lot of the stuff that I see in movies, I feel is real.
Right.
Because somebody had to see it, somebody had to visualize it. But I've seen it before somewhere.
Well, apparently
I can't put my finger on it.
It was taken by the military on their field glasses of some sort. And if you have more information on that, folks, please add to the conversation. As I understand, a night vision and some other type of visions they have, glasses, and they had picked this up. It would go from hot to cold to white and black from the temperatures of this thing. So it was scooting along pretty fast, and that would materialize and then disappear and come back. So I don't know. I mean, it's obvious. I don't think we'd make something like that. I mean, flying around. I mean, we have better technology than that. I think that would make it kind of a classier craft.
The thing about it is they use night vision. They use their opticals.
Yeah.
And one of it, they couldn't see it. It was invisible. The other one, they could bring it in.
Right.
It kept fading in and out. And with today's technology, who says it's not ours?
Well,
but if you go back and look at all the stuff as far as when we started the fight in Afghanistan and when Russia was over there, I saw a thing on TV that guys were ended up fighting ghosts.
Interdimensional type of thing, just popping in.
Hello?
A type of a thing that would just pop in, like an interdimensional type of being. Yeah, I'm still here. We can hear you just fine. You should be able to hear me too. So
Hello?
we're here. We're here, buddy. Ed, I'll have Ed call me on 1114. Let's do that. I'll give him a call back on that number. So anyway, here we are. Now, Ed was talking about they're fighting ghosts. Well, that's kind of strange. How that would happen. And let's see here. We got him. Eddie on there. Okay, let's give you a call. We're going to give Eddie another call. And get him on the line here. Drop that.
7022.
Well, I don't know what's going on there either. Well, I'll wait till him calls back. He'll call us on back 1114. And I'm opening those lines, by the way.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada. Lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Now, here again, Glenn Larry.
And I hope I have Ed back on the line. Are you there, Ed?
No, you got Ken on the line.
Okay, Ken, we got Ken. We just lost Ed on the line for some reason.
Yeah, I seen that. I got to go along with him. I checked everything out down here. You know, I live here, and I don't believe it was any alien down there.
You don't believe it, any of that, huh?
Yeah, no, they were over in the mall, and I guess they got Arcadias in there, and they got to fighting, and then somebody decided they was going to throw firecrackers, and then somebody else decided they was going to call the police. They heard gunshots, and the whole thing got out of hand.
Yeah.
But the alien part,
no,
didn't happen.
It didn't happen. So you don't think it was? You don't think it was aliens at all, huh? Just kids with fireworks.
Used the fireworks, and then somebody called and said they heard gunshots because they heard the fireworks, and things just got out of hand down there, and all them police cars. My God, there must have been 200 of them. Yeah,
I have Ed on the line here.
Okay, I'll give you a call back later, Larry.
Well, I want you to talk to Ed now. Ed, can you hear? Ed, can you hear Ken? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear him just fine. How's it going, Ken?
Oh, it's not going bad. But I believe the alien thing, I believe that's a hoax.
Hokey deal.
Huh? Yep. I only live a little over 100 miles from there, and I don't believe it happened.
Right.
I was wondering what your thought was on this, because you've seen there, you've been there. Are you going to get 100 cops to show up for aliens? Or are you going to get 100 cops to show up for kids with fireworks shooting each other?
You can't even get the cops to show up if they find Hunter Biden's gun. I shouldn't have said that.
Here we go. But anyway,
I said that one.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what.
The only thing actually I've seen in the last 10 years here in Florida was about 2 months ago. I saw this great big fluorescent tube. That's what it looked like to me. My wife said, well, that's something coming out of the back of a jet. I said, well, it don't have no lights.
Right.
And I said, it's not moving.
Right.
And we watched it for maybe 5 minutes. And it just vanished. But gone.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, that is a UFO. That's been seen everywhere.
But I'll tell you what, if people don't believe it, I'll tell them one thing: don't get too close.
Yeah,
you'll get something on you won't like.
Yeah, Ed, you know about that? He has had a. I believe that he was marked by the aliens. I really do. I mean, he had to pull it out of his back, and that was no fun. And you had it for how many years, Ken?
I had that over 50 before my wife dug it out of my back.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I kept telling her about it, but she couldn't see it, so she didn't know it was there. And one day she said, I feel it.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And I said, dig it out. And she dug, and then,
and I have it up on,
I have it up got a little worried about it bleeding, so she stopped. And the next day I said, see what it looks like.
And there it is. I have it on the
She
screen.
pulled it out with a pair of tweezers.
Did it hurt when she did that?
No.
That's where it was at, in the skin.
No.
What's it made out of?
It come right out.
He doesn't know.
What is it?
We don't know.
No, don't know. And I should have kept it, but I didn't want no visitors. And I know with things like this, you have people coming in, they ask you all kinds of questions. And at my age, 77, I didn't think I needed them type of visitors.
No.
I thought you were talking about the other ones.
Well, either of them. I'll tell you the truth.
I mean, you can look at it, you can zoom it in, you can see what appears to be a little antenna. I don't know what it is. I just wanted to get rid of it because it's bothered me.
Right.
From 1967.
Wow.
Yep.
It's quite a long time. Quite a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. I've never.
I've heard of folks that have, hurt their head or something like that, and they put them through a scan, and all of a sudden there's something in their brain. It's a piece of metal, and there's no way that they could have had that happen to them. But they found this, and it's happening everywhere. It's a very common thing now. Well, you got something in your head or in your body that doesn't belong there. How did it get there? If you weren't in the war or something like that. I mean,
well, the doctor said it was shrapnel, but it wasn't shrapnel. That was from where? I don't.
Well, you weren't in the service, so that's out. So yeah. Well, listen.
How about that guy that's at Skinwalker Ranch, the one that had the brain tumor?
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that whole thing. That's very intriguing about that place out there.
That was caused by the ranch itself because of that land. Yeah. And that's.
Well, they're saying that the ones that I've been watching, that they drilled in and they pulled up some type of a metal, but nobody knows what it is. It looks like it deteriorated over the years.
Yeah, like a melted can.
They don't know because over here they do something and over there it registers.
That's odd.
Well,
yeah.
That place is really weird.
Well, I wouldn't want to be there. I wouldn't even want to work there at all. I mean, it's apparently closed off.
Yeah, a lot of people are intrigued about that Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, a lot of people talk about that.
I know an employee that used to work out there. I'm gonna try to get him on, tell some of his stories and he had experienced. That'd be interesting to hear.
You're gonna try and get the captain on.
Yeah, he should be calling. He called earlier. Hopefully he'll call back. He's got some answers about this stuff too, so we'll see what he has to say.
Maybe we can get Barb on there to give a comment.
You never know. Hey, you guys.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. Right. Let somebody else have some airtime.
All right, thank you both of you.
Okay,
Ed, thank you too.
Care, Larry.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye. Good people, real good people. See, we're going to get these lines open again for you.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114.
And that's the number, of course. Now, don't be afraid to call. If you're a first-time caller, go ahead, give us a call. We'll talk about the UFOs. Now, like I told these gentlemen earlier, my neighbor told me about this thing that dangled over his house with these tentacles coming down, and it looked pretty solid. And it would fade in, fade out. And so, geez, what do you think? I mean, have you seen something like that? Has that happened to you? Ken was telling about the kind of the cigar-shaped type of like a fluorescent tube, more or less, floating in the air, and that's been very common lately to be turned in as a UFO. What is it? Is it a ship or has people sitting in there ready to drop off to go do things? Or I don't know. But more and more and more each day, things are happening. And it seems to be the UFO alien thing. Yeah, I'm not hearing a lot about ghosts anymore. I hear some stories with ghost hunters and what have you. There's a gentleman named Steve that will be calling in probably within a couple months or whatever, and have him on the show about some really scary stuff he's been involved in. And you'll enjoy his show. This show, have him coming up soon. He's on vacation doing something, but no, do give us a call. He will just get this going again for you.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114.
Give us a call now. Let's hear what you have to say and what you think about that mall situation. I know you saw it. It was on the major news, and it was all over the internet. We'll be back after this.
Mom, you wanted to talk to me?
The calendar hypnosis into thumbtack cushion, completely tailwind. And sewing elephants plant before cartoon paper cups. So numbers renovate.
If your teenager is trying drugs or alcohol, Would you know the right words to use?
Afterward, lightly fish scale. Doorbell.
Find out what to say at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
And we are back, everyone. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Great commercials, about gangs and stuff. So true. I want to say hello to some friends out there. Of course, my friends in Florida. You just heard Ken and his wife, Dee. They're out there. They're good friends of mine. Neil and Barb, of course. Randy and PA. Ed, Jonathan in Texas, by the way. I want to say hello to him also. He's a great guy, too. My godson, his girlfriend, fiance, whatever, just had a baby. Yeah, a baby boy. 7 pounds and I think 3 ounces, something like that. But just a beautiful little baby. God bless them. And they're a young little couple starting out, and it's going to be exciting to see how that all works out. I'm their Uncle Buck, by the way. So I'm going to be that baby's great Uncle Buck. Yeah, I can't wait. I was in almost tears when I saw that beautiful picture of that baby. Yeah. Anyway, so that's exciting news for the whole new year. How about that? What a great way to start off the year. I know that his dad and mom are very, very proud, and all the family is. So it's God bless them. I wish them the best too. Also, I want to say that Station 23 over there in Avondale. I guess Chief's back and he's working and doing things. All that full fire crew down there works so very, very hard. What a great station you guys have. Avondale, yeah. Station 23. Also saying hello to Kent Square, to the wonderful Creekside Diner. Karen does a great job for everybody down there also. And up here, I had some fun with some folks, doing a little karaoke the other night, which kind of fun, And I saw Old Man Liver. Of course, this is at the Pioneer Saloon. Lots goes on there. That's a spooky place anyway. And they are haunted, but they have the best of the good people down there that work there. And I enjoy eating there. I enjoy company with everybody. And so get a chance to check out our little town. Check out the Pioneer Saloon. Check out the library, the museum of the Good Springs Historical Society. Check that out. It's totally cool. We're a small little community, and we're deep in the desert, but you can find Good Spring for God's sake. Yeah, it's K-Ghost FM 101.3 AM 1610 Community Hobby Radio Part 15. And all you have to do is just go to goodspringsradio.com, and you'll get our full day show and everything else. And in fact, we're live on there right now, along with YouTube and the Facebook pages and all the other different stations. We're on Reverb Nation, Speaklers, Spotify, Twitter, Archer, of course, our podcast, Apple Podcast, and a bunch of other ones. So we're all over, and we want to thank you for tuning in. This whole new year is going to be a lot of fun for everybody. I really believe that. I think it's going to be a good year. Politics aside, I really believe it's going to be a good year for everybody. And we just focus on the goodness of things ahead for all of us. And I think that's what we should think. And if we put that power of thinking like that, I think it may happen. I just pray for that. Yep. Now back to the UFOs. You would hear something like this back in the day, and you would say to yourself, is it real?
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers found sometime last week has been inspected in Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
Well, that was the Roswell crash, as you know, the broadcast. And that's a little strange. That's supposed to be the real deal, too. What do you think about the Roswell situation? Do you believe in that whole thing? It was national news. And, of course, the military came out and said that it's not real. It was a weather balloon. And, you know, it's pretty crazy.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
How true is that? It's been said that in that Florida situation, I had some things that came up on the board here that a lot of their cell phones were collected and taken away for evidence, apparently. Maybe for the kids that were the 4 kids that were in trouble, or was it for the alien situation? I don't know, but there's been a lot of stuff going through. Like, Ken said in the race, they think it's the big spoof and it's never happened. I'm kind of tending to agree with them. I think that people overreacted and they just said certain things, and that stuff got in the media and it just went bongles because people want to believe in stuff like this. Sincerely, I do believe in UFOs, but 10-foot aliens, I don't know how that's going to work out. You never know, though. We're going to open the lines up again.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada. Lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Now, here again, Glenn Larry.
So there we are. I was told by a lady that I met, maybe 2 years ago, about her experience, about the craft that I have up right now. You can see this. You've seen other pictures of it, but this is the closest that she had pointed out as a UFO that she saw. And, excuse me, this was over here, her house in Summerland. And other neighbors had seen this same craft. And this is what she said, it really looked just like this one here. And so that's been a couple years back when I spoke to her, and she stays with her story, and she's got some type of picture, but it didn't come out right, and but I'm sure somebody up there has some pictures. I mean, everybody has camera these days, and so someone had to take that picture, and that's supposed to be pretty close to what she saw. So yeah, pretty crazy. We're supposed to get a call from, hopefully the captain will call in. These are some of his ships that he's had on his show when we had him on. Shows you some of the crafts in the clouds that appear as clouds, but they're actually spaceships, as he says. And that's over some mountain there. I don't know where that's at, to tell the truth, but those were sent by him. Here's another one here. Pretty cool. Yeah, isn't that kind of that's different? Yeah. Now I've seen something like that in these movies, shaped like that kind of. That's kind of like the Falcon. I don't know, but that's a cloud. Imagine that. Yeah, and this one is too. That's pretty close. Are they just the clouds, or do you think there's something in there that's around it, and it's kind of holding itself to be like a cloud? Now you see the gentleman sitting right there, so it's got to be off a cliff or somewhere close by where he's looking at this. See. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the universe is very, very big. So we do not know. They're saying they're getting different lights from distant planets out there. They would appear to be like city lights. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on up there. I'll tell you for sure. Is space just dark? No, I think there's some pretty cool stuff up there to be looking around. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. So where do you lay? What do you think? What's your mindset about these UFOs and about this mall situation? And we're going to take some more calls. So we're going to leave the lines open. 1114 is open now.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Now, here again, Glenn Larry.
I haven't even taken down the Christmas lights yet. I should do that tomorrow. And this is the ones that go around the station on the fence there out there. And I noticed my neighbor, she has hers up too still. So maybe I'll get mine down first. Mine were up first. So I'll take mine down first. I think the other neighbor took theirs down. But yeah, now I'll be honest with you. I do leave them up yearly, but you can't see them on the fence. They're kind of real small. And they look like part of the fence. Unless you get real close, you go, that guy still has his Christmas lights. Of course, we always have the ones in the window on all the time. It's like northern exposure, and kind of a cool deal. And so you can always see the station, and you can look through the window. You can see a big logo we have back there. And a lot of people can come by today, actually, have taken some pictures and asked questions about our little radio station here. We are Part 15 and enjoying every bit of it. And we've been around for 22, 23 years now, this little community. Just loving radio, as you all do know. Yeah. And we get to talk about all this good, cool stuff, I'll tell you for sure. UFOs. My first one I saw was when I was a child. My sister saw it too. And as you guys have heard before, it was a disc type of UFO. And it woke me up. I woke my sister up as I looked out the window. She had a window facing the street also. There was a craft, and it was moving back and forth, and then it would be stationary still, and then all these different lights would be flashing around it, and it was hovering, and it had some type of a buzzing sound that was just an odd type of buzz, but it woke me up. Nothing that you would like go, I hear that. No, it's just something that woke me up. Maybe it was supposed to wake me up. Anyway, I woke her up to look out, and she goes, oh, my God. I go, yeah, what do you think about that? And, of course, I could barely go back to sleep. She did, and I went to talk to her about it in the morning. And everything else. She goes, I didn't see anything. Afraid to say she saw a UFO. And, these days you can say that. They don't put you away. Yeah. So, yeah. And I have heard from different people that live in that area also saw something in the sky. Not as probably as much as we did because it was very up close to us, and it shot over the street and to the right and to the left, and off it went, just disappeared, going that fast. And I've heard about the saucers over the state capital of Olympia, Washington. This is back in the 60s, late 60s, maybe early 70s. I have neighbors and friends that have told me about their experiences. I like chasing them. More or less in a park type of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that are being, it's never been reported, but they have it in their memory. Now they're coming out talking about it, and they get with friends. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. In high school, you share that stuff. And there's a lot of phony stuff out there. This what really gets me is that stuff like this mall thing, if it is a fake deal, it gives a lot of the UFO credibility. It hurts that because I just say it's just another nutty guy and a nutty thing being said or made up story, what have you. And the real stuff happens, and you have to sort through that. My guys at MUFON tell me that all the time. They get all these different stories, but a lot of them are true. But they have to really, take it all down just in case. Some of them very bizarre, but they're true, and some aren't true, or maybe they've just mistaken themselves. I don't think they ever called a person a liar, but it's pretty crazy. So there you go. Washington State used to be a very hot spot for UFOs. Now it's Florida and California. If you look at the MUFON and, of course, the reporting center for UFOs, you will see the map that they have of the latest UFO sightings, what type of craft it was, where was it at, and what time. And the person will describe a little notation there of what exactly they saw. And this is still available. You can still, if you saw something in the past, if you can put a year and a month to it, doesn't have to be the day, of a year and a month to it, or as much as you can give these guys just to report what happened, because that has to go into a database that we can back up things and say, hey, yeah, this happened. They saw the same thing, but it's a good thing to have on file. And gosh, I mean, you're walking down the street, you see a family of aliens walking next to you, and when you're going to report them, are they really aliens? Are they just people in a costume? Yeah, I had a little fun with this, of course. Why not? But I've got stories from folks that really happened. They really, some say they were picked up by UFOs and taken away. I don't know. A lot of them say they look kind of like a guy had a huge head and huge eyes. And I'm throwing that up on there right now. You can see that. And so, wow. Yeah. And then you get reports in the mall that there's 10-foot aliens. Yeah. The guys in the backyard in Las Vegas described a 10-foot aliens. They seem to have some pictures of something behind one of the machinery. God, I don't know. But maybe this was something that was made up just to carry that story through. I don't know. There's been some sightings of Memphis lately. That's the lights in the sky, the triangle that's been seen everywhere. And I believe that might be ours. Just like the stealth, how fast that is and what that looks like. And that would hover and just take off. You wouldn't hear anything. So maybe they have that technology. Maybe we have all that. And we're at the point where we'll a little bit of this out to the people. And then we'll retract and say, nah, I don't know, until they're ready. I mean, are we ready? I mean, has these movies been preparing us all these years to get ready for the UFO coming? Like they say, why don't they just land at the state capitol? Why don't they just show themselves? We're ready. I wonder if we are. Unbelievable. I want to say hello to Tim over there in Elko and Alan in Fairbanks, Joyce in Lacey, Washington, and hello to Dave over there at the limousine service he has over there. Great little service. Used to work with them. We used to be police officers together back in the day. And again, I want to say hello to Dean, Ken and Dee in Florida. Neil and Barbara over in London. Yes. They've been so cool. And again, I do thank you guys for the little gifts that you send me. And I'm very appreciated. And it does help. And that's, like I say, it really does help. Anyway, we talked about the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs. I was down there today, and I had a nice hamburger. I enjoyed it, and some conversation with some folks. It's getting more popular. Yeah. On the slow days, it seems to be busier. There's a reason for that, of course. Do go to the website, Pioneer Saloon, over here in Good Springs, and I believe it's either .org or you'll pull it up. It's many different pages, but there's a Pioneer from Good Springs. That's the one you got to remember about. Yeah, it tells you the schedules of the bands and all that, and it's just a lot of fun. Monica's in a band that I know. She used to sing backup with me back in the day, and they have a great little band, B-side band. And of course, you have Chris Ears. Now, I play his opening of that song for my show. Yeah, the guy's so talented. I have a CD right here. Chris Ears, The Road Ahead Shines. And that's if you can see that right there. And I'm going to go ahead and just remove this right here. And there, got my all picture. And there it is right there, Chris Ears. And you can get that on Amazon, I'm sure, or whatever. CD Baby also, and some other ones. But yeah, this guy just very talented. He's a writer, the song, sings, expands, and been in Nashville. And he's got a lot of good friends. And they're in the business too. And I get to meet those guys once in a while, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. Things are changing where I live, down the street, actually, about 7-8 miles down the street. The old Gold Strike Hotel and Casino. Yeah, no longer there. They're knocking it down. And those that used to go to the Gold Strike and also the Nevada Landing, you'll remember Captain Lucky. Yeah. Well, I was Captain Lucky, and I really enjoyed that job, the PR part of it, and meeting everybody as a PR host. And what a great job. Almost 30 years in that job. Plus, I do entertainment on the side. Plus, I would do my radio. I had it made. But now, they're both gone, and they're taking it down. And a wrecking ball's coming soon, or they'll implode it, or something's going to, not the wooden part of the hotel, but the cement part. Huge columns. And so I can't wait to see when that happens. But it's gone now, and they're going to build something else. I hear warehouses and a bunch of other stuff. So it's going to be good for the economy. And people will go into work doing different things. Contractors will be involved, and maybe more jobs for people in the area. Yes. Now, let's talk about jobs. How many kids need a job? Or how many kids that want to work and have a job? This seems to be a bit of a problem right now, getting employees in these different areas, especially the food industry. And that's starting to change just a little bit. The wages have gone up. I don't know what they're paying at McDonald's or Burger King, but there's some places that are pretty high. And you're going to give a guy, I don't know, $16 an hour, whatever. I hear up there in Montana, it's like $20 an hour. Imagine that. Working for McDonald's, getting $20 an hour. I don't know. This stuff's been told to me, so I'm going, wow, where was I when I really needed a job? Or when I was young, I'd take that pay right away. Of course, I'd work for it, though. You got to work for it. I've always had a job since I was 14 years old, and I always worked. If I didn't have a job, I made a job or started a business. I had a limousine business. I had had a security business, detail, did all that stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And that's cold hard cash. It's nice. Cash is good. Cash is the winner. You betcha. All right, we're going to open the lines up again, and we're going to try to get some folks to call in about UFOs.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114.
A little time out there for the all of our people out there that are listening to the radio right now, and got people on the station even right now. So go ahead, caller, you're live on the air, and what's your name and where you from, please?
This is Ed again.
All right, Ed, go ahead. Gotcha. Live.
Hey, you said something I was thinking about Angel, the guy that was in Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We have
if
not
he
heard.
wasn't so right on, why did the cops put one of those portable cameras next to his property?
Huh. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
You know, the ones that telescope up?
Yep. Yeah, it was a pretty fancy one too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, and all of a sudden, that boy disappeared. Did he go back to Mexico? Do the feds have him?
I don't know. I've talked to different people. They have no idea either. And on some followed up journalists have also said that they have no idea. The kids disappeared.
Yeah.
And that's the way it happens. I mean, they could just say, you're gone now, and you're gone. Nobody knows where you're at, you know. And,
well, I mean, they do have a jail at Nellis Air Force. They have a federal pen there.
I don't think they'll put this kid in prison just because he saw an alien or whatever. I think we'd probably do some type of brainwashing of some sort, probably.
Yeah, well, also across the street, they have a FEMA camp.
Mm.
That looks like a detention center. I've talked to somebody that's been in that one.
My gosh. Do you think do you think the family, I don't even about the family where they're at either. So,
well, just like the picture that I have that I gave to you with Area 51.
Right.
I could have swore I was being followed. The back of my neck, the hairs were standing up all the way home.
Really? Huh.
It took me a year before I went to anybody because I was too afraid.
Well, I can understand that.
And it took me 8 years to finally find somebody that was willing to listen to me and was willing to show everybody, hey, you know, look at this.
Right.
Am I scared now? No.
Huh.
But the thing about it is like you said, once you see one, you see more.
I really believe that. And I've been told that by other people too, by the way.
And that one, I just sent you one that's on YouTube, but it's round and it's got red in it.
Okay.
And
I can't pull that right
the one that I was telling you about that was blue.
Yes.
It looks more like a piece. I mean, I know it's kind of crazy, but the best way to describe it is like a piece of ciabatta bread. But it's got the blue around it instead of the red.
Really?
It was more like a piece that's shaped like that instead of round. And then the very bottom, it had like the old style heater grills, you know, like you used to have in your house.
Right.
And each square was blue. And I mean, that thing took off and didn't make no sound whatsoever.
Right. And had no type of smoke or anything out of that. The whole thing, it was just different from there, or what?
Yeah, it just took off. I mean, I opened the door, looked out, and it just, about the time I went to step outside, it took off.
Yeah, unbelievable. That's just crazy, man.
Ever since all this, my dogs have been acting crazy.
Right, yeah.
They went out there and bark. I go out there late at night with a flashlight. I don't see anything.
Right. Oh, goodness.
But it doesn't mean there's not, you know, something out there.
No.
But
no,
if you go back through history, even Hitler came out with a spacecraft.
Yeah, it was the Bell. It's called the Bell. Remember that? And you folks, you've probably seen that on the internet and on different pages. Like, let's see, YouTube has that space and Hitler thing, and it shows that bell. It's a very popular whole situation. Maybe it's ours. Maybe one of those are ours, like that. You know, I mean, they made this thing,
right?
And so I'm saying to myself, well, why not? You know, and we've gotten better and better machine wise and making things, and when things are seamless, you know, no rivets type of thing, maybe molded. You know, I mean, we can do anything. We really can.
Well, I've been told that Roswell, they found a chip. They gave it to MIT. They did some reverse engineering, and that's basically where we got everything. Our computers went from the size of your house or my house to what you have in your hand today.
Yeah.
Hewlett Packard, they came out with a watch that had a calculator in it. You know, some of the first technology.
Yeah, I remember that watch. I had what was it called? It was a Seiko. Is that right? Seiko?
Hewlett Packard, HP.
Hewlett Packard. Okay. Yeah. Had a little calculator with it, and also the time would digitally be there also. But can you find something like that these days or not?
And then the other day, the rumors out there once again that the aliens are there because of our nuclear technology. They said that they spotted some craft near a nuke.
Well, that's been going on quite some time, I understand. If we get active or something like that happens, they're right there. I mean, they're there, right on top of that nuke, and they're going to hit it and put it out. And that happened. And we're like kids with matches, I guess, you know. And they're saying the kids have matches. Now it's time to shut it down, you know. But the problem is these signals go off to these other countries, and they're saying, "Oh, the Americans are shooting nukes at us. Oh my gosh, now what?" You know.
Well, see, that's what I'm afraid of with this AI. Remember that movie that came out, War Games?
Mm-hmm.
Where it was
the kid.
all the kid.
Yeah.
And they found out in the very end that it couldn't win.
Right. Unbelievable.
And then the AI. My friend sent me an article about the AI airplane that chopped up a bunch of people.
Wow.
And then they had a robot at one of the factories. It went crazy and went after somebody.
Man. Yeah, it's very dangerous.
I think we're playing with the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think
we need to worry about each other.
Right.
More so than everything else. This technology, it's like you said, it's giving a kid a can of gas and a bunch of matches.
Yep. It's not that I don't want kids to be smart, what have you, but they're way above smart now with certain technology, if you know what I'm saying. And they're not getting some of the basics, but they are getting smarter and smarter, computers and games and what have you. And we're not in the game, everybody. I mean, I want to be that very clear. And some of these kids think that we're in a game. We're in a big cube. We're not existent, but we're in a computer game. And that's way out there thinking. But some of them believe that.
Funny you should bring that subject up. I was talking, this is years ago, I was talking to a bunch of kids, and the subject came up, just what you were saying. I said, those computer games aren't real.
No.
Really? Yeah. I said, look, if you take a gun and shoot somebody in the head, I said, what's going to happen to them? I said, they're going to sit there and bleed out on the ground.
Yeah.
I said, you can push a button and start over. I said, if some kid walked up to you and stuck a gun in your head and pulled the trigger, I said, you can't start over.
Right.
And that's their mentality. And that's,
I think they should have a statement verbally said, and that they can read it. This is a movie only. This is reality. This is not reality or whatever. It's documentation, what have you. This is not, the guy is an actor. They're all actors. This is a movie. So you're not going to live in this movie and be the person in this movie and react it and go out and expect people to stand up after they've been shot in the head. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But it's the responsibility of the parent.
Oh, yeah.
To sit there and try to explain everything to them. Hey, this is this and this is that. Because, I've said this before. After watching the History Channel and a bunch of other stuff, if we knew the technology that our government has, you'd dig a hole and you wouldn't know when to stop.
Yeah, it's
trying to bury yourself out of fear.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of the reasons why they don't. The government, I feel, is not going to tell you what's going on out of fear. I don't feel that half the people in this country or half the people in the world would be able to accept an alien.
Right. I've heard these whistleblowers saying, if I tell you the whole thing, you couldn't handle it. And I'm saying to myself, how does this guy handle it? I mean, if he has all this to say, what does he have to say? And there's a lot of closed door stuff and this disclosure stuff, So what's really being said? What are we fed, and how much are we fed to and fed of? You see what I'm saying?
Well, the History Channel used to show a bunch of stuff back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I sat there and watched the technology that the military has. They have a suit that basically sends all your vitals back to wherever it goes back to.
Right, yes.
If you get shot, it can compress where your wound is. It'll send all your vitals.
Isn't that something? Huh.
It'll do all kinds of stuff. At that time, they even had I think you can buy them now. They had a gun that shot around corners.
Really?
Huh. But I've seen that in a lot of the movies and stuff. So I know it actually exists because they showed it on the History Channel that the military was using it. But
amazing.
Like that guy said, a lot of the stuff is closed door. Why is it closed door?
Yeah. Yeah. And they say more and more is supposed to be coming out. Just recently.
Look at Fort Lazar.
Yeah. He went through a lot.
They're still harassing him.
Yeah. Yeah. Not leaving him alone. That's
and
pretty crazy.
The guy basically sacrificed his life and his career to be a whistleblower, and look where it got him.
Yeah. Well, he was scared when he came out and told everybody. I
was scared when I took that picture and I went home and found out what it was. I wanted to dig a hole and hide myself. I looked out the windows and the doors and, I keep looking over my shoulder. Now I don't,
Right.
But back then I did. I mean, you don't know what these people are up to.
Yeah. Are there? Well, that's right. We don't know. And are we still being watched? Well, I get a lot of strange stuff around here. Believe me.
Well, when I called you earlier.
Yeah.
And I kept saying hello.
Yeah.
I was dead on this end.
Oh, it's because I don't know. We had you live here. We could hear you loud and clear.
Right.
And my mic was up. I didn't touch anything.
No, I turned it off and went to the program, and there's a 10-minute discrepancy between you and me.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. They're known to do that, everybody, by the way. If you get that happening, it's not on my side. It's them.
Yeah, because I sat there and listened, and I hear myself talking, and I had already hung up.
Yeah, that's a little strange. Yeah. I'll be going through this tonight because I do some editing and stuff and for my archives, and I'll be looking about where that happened and see who carried what, because they can cut down, they can stop YouTube, they can stop Facebook, they can stop a bunch of stuff, but there's certain other ones that feeds that I go to, they don't even know it's on, till later on. So yeah. That happened earlier in the career of this station, maybe 4 years ago. And we were talking about some military stuff and what have you. And boop, they took out sentences. They took out words. Certain words of programs I used to work on, and they took it off. So, yeah. Is there free speech? Come on. I'm beginning to wonder now.
There's free speech to a point. I think when you start talking about this stuff, the government really doesn't want anybody to really,
Yeah, you don't want to be bashing your government. I do love my country, but I don't trust these guys. I'm sorry.
Well,
I just don't.
I dig my country. It's just too bad that we're allowing it to go the way that it's going. And, you can't get the truth out of them. Look, everybody knows they exist.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, but I just don't think people are ready for it.
No, I agree with you there. Maybe they're not ready for it, and they're afraid that might be a panic. It may challenge religion, may challenge a lot of stuff that people, and I always play this once in a while.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Kind of to the point, isn't it? And that's I like that.
But here's the thing that if you watch a lot of these programs, and if you look at all the old relics and everything, even the Egyptians, they showed little people and spacecraft flying around. You look at the Indians, the gods came from the heavens.
Yes, it's there.
They show all these different types of people on the, on all their drawings and stuff. They show tall ones, skinny ones. They show all this other stuff. And I saw where they dug up a skull, an elongated skull somewhere, and they actually took some type of metal and put it in this guy's skull. And the bone actually grafted itself to this metal. They didn't even know what kind of metal it was. But you say elongated skull, that reminds me of what? Aliens?
Aliens, of course, yes. Edward, at the top of the hour right now, I want to thank you for calling in. I want to thank everybody out there, Ed, you especially, and of course, Dee and Ken over there in Florida. And it's been a fun show tonight. We'll get more into this a little later. I've got some stories from some folks, but they're not in town, so they can't tell it.
Okay.
But we'll be in touch, my friend. Thank you so very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you for putting me on.
You got it, buddy. Good people. Good people. And the station loves good people, and we love people that like to talk about UFOs and ghosts and all that. And we try to make it interesting as possible. There's so much out there right now, and there's more coming. So don't be alarmed. Don't be scared. Play well with each other, and just try to get along. And let's look at this new year coming up as a good thing, and wish for good things and good things for people and yourselves. Be well. God bless.